Hi, and welcome to How to Joy, a podcast about the big, small, quiet, and loud ways that joy shows up in our lives. This podcast is an exploration. It's not a manual or a to-do list. It's a question, a practice, a space to notice joy when it bubbles up, to remember it when it feels far away, and to hear how other people cultivate it in their own lives and to be inspired by that. My hope is that this becomes a place to be reminded that joy is still here, still possible, and still ours to claim, even in the midst of the hard things. Thank you for being here. Now let's begin. Welcome to How to Joy. I am here with one of my favorite people ever in the entire universe of all time. It is Josie, aka Juice.
Juice. Hi, Maggie.
Hi. How's it going?
So good. All filled with garlic dip. Hot girl dinner.
Right. We did have hot girl dinner. That's right.
Well, for us.
We gabbed about the loves and interests in our life.
Drama. Oh, so much joy already. This is going so well.
It really is. I love it. Well, yay. Thanks for finally being here. It took a minute. I don't know why. We see each other constantly, but we haven't done this yet. So yay.
Well, we're both doing at least a million things every day, so
that's true.
It checks out.
Indeed. Well, let's start how we always do, which is how do we know one another?
We met for the first time through Jen at your St. Patrick's Day party days before the world shuts down in 2020, then proceeded to basically not see each other again for at least 12 months.
That's true.
And then friendship exploded pretty quickly once the world opened back up.
That's true.
And especially in the last, 2 years or so, we've gotten really tight.
That's true. Even maybe like 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, every year it gets deeper and deeper.
Okay.
I also, though, remember we did that queer business thing together. You invited me to do that.
Oh, that's right. And you were doing the yoga with kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was me trying to start a business.
It worked for me. I liked it.
I also really liked it. And honestly, I was talking with a business coach today about how I need more business owner community because I think I have this really deep artist, creative friend community, but a pretty limited number of entrepreneur business people that I can talk to about really boring things and have them not be bored. But yeah, that was a fun little like virtual endeavor that we did
during COVID, right?
Yeah, towards like I would say like the end of COVID, which maybe was why it didn't keep going, is because in person was tough. The virtual stuff got harder to convince people to do.
True.
I also don't really like virtual stuff, so
yeah, we were ready to be together.
Yes, put me in person.
Yeah,
put me in person. I'm much better in person.
But I do remember getting to know you even a little bit there because we do those Marco Polo things back and forth.
God, Marco Polo. I don't know if I'm triggered by that or if it's nostalgic. Maybe a little bit of both.
I think both for sure. And remember House Party? Did you ever do that? My friends and I, it was like I don't know, like a Zoom type thing, but it was called House Party, I want to say. And you could all be on it together and do like virtual brunch, or we would do lingerie parties. Lingerie dance parties.
Oh, no, I didn't. No, we did like little Zoom meet and greets and stuff.
Yeah.
I was on Zoom a lot in COVID.
Ew, we're like, yeah, no, mostly not nostalgic. Horrors.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Certainly. Yeah. So it's 6 years in a month.
Wow. That's weird to think about.
Yeah.
Well,
which is basically a decade, which, is basically our entire lives. Best friends for life.
Aw, I love it so much. That St. Patrick's Day party wasn't even like a sexy party or anything. It was
that was a very regular party.
Regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We've had better parties.
Yes, we have.
And then I had a St. Panties Day party, which was around that same time of year. That one was better.
Oh, I didn't come to that
You
one.
did, didn't you?
Not that year.
No. I'm saying like this was, I don't
Oh,
know,
a couple years later.
maybe last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've been to almost every single one of your parties.
It's sad when you're not here.
Oh,
It's true.
it's because I'm the life of the party.
You are.
A life. I am a life of the party.
I think that's why we get along, because we both are lives.
The first one dancing at every party.
Yeah. Well, there is so much joy already in this episode. And tell us, what did you want to speak to us about on this episode?
I find my joy for this episode in what I would call obnoxious positivity. And it's not toxic positivity, because that is toxic. I think obnoxious positivity for me is a very internal process. It is a very personal experience that has spillover that reaches other people, but it is focused inward towards self, and then that effect maybe spills out to the greater community of your life. Obnoxious positivity is a self process that I use to make sure I'm keeping myself in a headspace that is more pleasant.
And did you create this on your own, or did you read it somewhere, or did someone?
I genuinely don't know. My gut says I stumbled into it through some other, I don't know, things that I've heard.
Mhm.
I mean, I was saying earlier, right? It comes a little bit from this idea of like fake it till you make it.
Mhm.
And obnoxious positivity doesn't necessarily mean that I'm feeling obnoxiously positive. It means that I'm leaning into obnoxious positivity. So awarding myself like little celebrations for victories, not constantly stressing over failures or mess ups or hiccups, and leaning into complimenting myself. Or one of the tools that I use is definitely from another practice, is to actually give yourself verbal affirmations in the mirror.
Ooh.
And housing all of that, those sort of tendencies into what I would define as obnoxious positivity, which is just what I call it. Maybe it does have another term that I just don't know. But whenever I tell people about it, they usually can find things in their own life that they already do that kind of fall in the same category.
Yeah. I like that you use the word obnoxious.
I don't know when that started. I'm sure pretty early. I've been called obnoxious my whole life, so I guess it's not really out of my vernacular.
Leaning into it.
Yeah.
And you were saying before we started recording that you've been doing this since your early 20s, you think?
Yeah, I think if I really had to sit down and define the time, it was after a vacation I took, which would have been just after college, to the Dominican Republic. And upon my return, wasn't really doing super great mentally. Was having some turmoil in my life, relationship, work, ending school. It's kind of a hard moment in any person's life, and I was particularly struggling with it because of my own identity issues and not really knowing what my future was going to look like in terms of any idea of it, not just career or life stuff, but if there was one or not. And that took a turn when I started, I think, faking it until I was making it and being obnoxiously positive about myself. And that promoted me to kind of turn my entire, I don't want to say my entire personality around, but how I viewed the world, how I was viewing myself in the world, how I was presenting myself to people in a sort of energetic way, even before I would have ever said that I was like an energetic human and that we put that out into the world. I was living it in my own way. And it actually is a huge proponent of why I was able to keep going, is because I just consistently, I wouldn't even say lied to myself, but just told myself, it's possible. You can. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
You're okay. Everything is great. Your job is good. Your friends are good. People like you. And even if I didn't believe it, I would say it to myself often enough. And then lo and behold, what ends up happening? You believe it because you see the positive stuff in your life, versus if you're sad a lot, if you're depressed, which I have depression, I fight depression off. when you are depressed, you're seeing so much negative.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're seeking negative, you find negative. And when you're
Totally.
seeking positive, you find that positive. And that is all it really comes down to, is that if I'm obnoxiously positive to myself, I am seeking things out that are positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is coming back tenfold from other things in my life, from relationships, community, work. I mean, even, going to the gym is like, I'm not in the gym a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the gym often, but I'm not doing things that are make myself really big or strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I just look at it like, today I only worked out for 20 minutes because I was tired and my body was sore. So I went and sat in the sauna. And I was like, this is great. I love the sauna. Why would I stress about only being in the gym for 40 minutes total when half of that was finding joy in a sauna?
Exactly.
Maybe that's what should have been the episode. Finding joy in the sauna. God, I love a sauna.
Oh my gosh, I thought about you actually when I
In the sauna?
Yes, I did. Often. No, I'm not. Sadly, I'm not in a sauna often, but no, I was in Mexico and I did think about you. We were in the sauna and it was delightful.
It is what I've learned getting older is it's a very important thing for me
Like
to
a
get back into my
ritual.
body, to feel very relaxed, and the heat really helps my like muscle tension, which I
Mhm.
tend to store my stress in my shoulders, and I can't get it out unless I am really intentional about that sort of use of time in the sauna, stretching, moving my neck and getting those rolls in. And the sauna is very boring. So as an ADHD person, I still have to do something. So I might as well stretch.
Yes, you might as well. Sweating out those toxins too is oh so nice.
Yeah, I have less microplastics in my body because I go to the sauna a bunch. Someone told me recently that we have a credit card's worth of plastic in our brains,
Ew.
which is honestly crazy. I don't have any way to verify the truth in this.
Ask your good friend ChatGPT.
I will never ask ChatGPT. Fuck ChatGPT. No amount of plastic in my brain is worth using fucking ChatGPT.
I
But
love it.
The sauna is now shown to be a way to remove some of the microplastics in your body.
That's
I don't know.
awesome.
Yeah, which feels helpful. Also, I still eat off of plastic cutlery or plates and use plastic spatulas, so who fucking knows if it's doing
And
anything.
like have a lot of your clothes be plastic.
Oh
that
my
we don't
God, I
even
know.
about.
I'm probably wearing plastic right now.
We try.
God.
Are you a hot or wet sauna person?
Ooh. Well, I don't have a steam room available to me, but I do try and really make the sauna quite humid. But it's not really no humidity to the point of you can tell it's humid in there other than just sweating more than usual. But I like 175 to 185 degrees, and I usually try and stay in between 20 and 25 minutes.
Wow.
Which is probably too long, but it's just like the only time of the day I'm sitting and not doing something. And I don't stretch the whole time because I get bored of stretching. And then I will sit and I try and close my eyes and rest my nervous system and
breathe.
Yeah, I would say, dare I say, meditate.
I was hoping you would.
Yeah, it's the closest I get to actually meditating. And it's really the only place I can get myself to do it.
Wow.
And I think it's because my body's under so much stress, but it's that relaxing stress for me. Is that possible, relaxing stress?
I think so. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, that'll work.
And plus, I bet you've built up a tolerance, perhaps.
Oh, maybe. Sure.
Who knows? I'm no scientist.
Ain't no scientists here, but I dare say.
You don't have as much microplastics anymore.
There ain't no credit card in my brain, I dare say.
Well, toxic positivity. Are there some times where it's really hard for you to do that? Or
See, you did it. You said toxic positivity. And that's the struggle with it, is when I tell people about it,
right.
they go to that.
Whoops.
So let's analyze that.
Yeah.
I think toxic positivity is when you are overly positive to other people and not allowing that stress or sadness to exist and for them to feel hurt in that.
Right.
And I think because I'm pointing it inwards, a lot of people aren't experiencing any of the work I'm doing on it. And then that spillover that I mentioned about how it affects my greater community is actually I am able to make stress and fears and sadness and hurt feel seen and heard while also still embodying a positive attitude through that process for them. And because of that inward process, they're not feeling like that positivity is pointed at them of like, oh, well, look at the other side of the coin.
Right.
Because that's my career is not that. My career is the sides of the coin are the way that they are, and they both exist for a reason. If I did this amount of bullshit positive stuff at other people, it would be toxic positivity.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But because I'm pointing it inward, I get to do all of my own self-work around it. And it probably wouldn't have the same effect for other people. I just need a lot of validation in my brain of like, is this worth my time? Is this worth doing? Am I doing this right? Is the outcome going to be necessary? Is this even something I want to work towards anymore? I'm a very fly by the seat of my pants person. So I have to support the decisions I make pretty often because all of a sudden I'm doing something completely different that I never thought I would do. And I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it because it could be really great.
It will be.
It could be.
I'm the toxic positivity.
My joyful darling.
But are there times when you're highly depressed that you do need something else to bring you out? Or
Yeah. I mean, you know this. I by the end of last year, I think the depression was really, really strong, and the fall was really hard on me, and I was not giving myself the allowances to acknowledge it. And I think that was a huge reason why the spiral was as bad as it was for me, is that I hadn't acknowledged it and I hadn't given space for the depression to have identity.
Yeah.
And then because I was ignoring it, it just got bigger and bigger without me really realizing and was affecting me and my life in a big way. A lot of things fell out. I was not able to maintain relationships or friendships or health or getting myself to be physical. All of it was kind of crumbling. And it took my partner really addressing with me when I said, I think I'm depressed, and her validation in that. And then I don't know if necessarily like immediately there was this flip of, okay, now I'm on my path to getting better. But I started to be able to tell people who I trust and love in my life that I was depressed.
Yeah.
And that I needed help. And I do struggle asking. So it is like really sensitive. And you were one of the people that I told, and I told the very close people.
Yeah.
But it was continuing to be invited places, continuing to feel like I was allowed to exist in community, however I was showing up, and not being the life of the party, like not feeling like I needed to be that. And to have that allowance in this amazing group of people we have that is come as you are, use our energy to lift your energy. And that slowly but surely really brought me back. And the weekend that flipped me was the weekend I spent the most time with you and Dana.
Aw.
And it meant a lot to me that I was still so welcomed and so brought along, even if I was able to, in those evenings, really lift my energy up and I wasn't feeling like a ton of truth in it. That moment of faking that really, okay, I'm going to show up here and I'm going to have a lot of fun tonight.
Be so present.
That one little flip of my own mind saying, I want to show up for my friends right now.
Yeah.
Was the beginning of me saying, okay, now I need to do that for myself in the mirror in the morning. And then the next 2 weeks were sort of that really big push. Get yourself some fucking food. I mean, you bought me groceries. That was really helpful. Get myself to cook stuff, get myself out of the house, get in the sun, get physical, call more people, get on the phone. Don't be alone.
Yeah.
Because the evenings I was spending alone were really bad. So I would find ways to be around people that were in a space of joy, honestly.
Aw.
Yeah, and then it was a pretty successful turnaround.
I'd say so.
Yeah, and that was the first time I'd been depressed in quite a while, and it was scary. Wasn't a fan.
No, I wasn't either.
But I would say, getting back into like the practices of the obnoxious positivity were a big part of it. And I think the reason why I spiraled so much is because I was so out of my routine coming back from my tour that I just wasn't able to get back into some of the things that at home, especially, I really need good habits.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm filled with bad habits. And I don't really hate them all. I just know they're bad.
Whatever.
Listen, we're all a mix of good and bad habits. You just want to have one more good habit than bad habit, you're on the right path.
I totally agree. I was going to say, always a baddie, even when you're saddie.
Oh, thanks.
And as someone who also has had their fair share of saddie moments over the past year or more, I can absolutely attest to the being around joyful people, but also that you're not always the fucking life of the party, because I get that too. You know, I am a joyful person. I'm making a fucking podcast about it, and I'm not always that way. And it's nice to be around people who understand that, you know?
Yeah, and that is sort of lives within that how we view positivity or joyfulness or just how people express themselves who live more in the mindset of like you and I, where a lot of positivity is what exudes from us.
Mm-hmm.
But there can't be that expectation because that expectation of perfect consistency, guess what? Toxic.
Exactly.
And that sort of toxic expectation, I think, falls within toxic positivity.
So true.
And it is often because it's pointed outward and people point it at us. And then we feel like we're letting people down or we're not welcome. And that is just going to make everything so much worse or so much harder.
Not to mention when you hear sometimes, but you're sad now, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a whole ass human being. Sorry, I can't always be sunshine and rainbows.
Right, right. Yeah, we're all allowed to have the layers. And I mean, I don't know, any relationship, friend or otherwise, you're on your own wave, you're on your own wavelength, and sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. But the majority of the time, my wavelength is positive and up. And even if there's lower moments in that, I can pull myself out. And when I get below a certain line, yeah, I need that external community support.
Yeah.
And really leaning into those tools of what is my own version of obnoxious positivity for self. Sometimes it's make sure you wake up every day and make your bed. And then you need to be proud of that.
Yeah.
And that is something I do every day. And I made my bed today and I am proud of myself. It looks good.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Getting into crisp sheets every night, like what a treat. What a way to reward yourself for that task you've completed. When I was really depressed, really leaning into, I brushed my teeth, I washed my face, I took my medicines, I made my bed, and I'm going to go on a walk. Oh my God, I just won the fucking day. If I do nothing else, I still did those things for myself today.
Yeah.
And that was when that process started to turn. And it was my partner saying, like, congratulations, or having a friend over and asking, like, did you feed yourself today? Saying yes, and then being like, good job. Like, actually, well done.
Right.
Because there can't be that external push to just ignore it.
Yes, exactly.
People really lean into that sometimes. I think they ignore it and it'll go away.
And
it
festers.
Yeah, it festers. I don't subscribe to that. Yeah. And even when I was going to like networking events, I remember someone who I know quite well at the networking event asking me how I was. And I run a show about being fucking honest. So I was considering what to say. And I just responded to her, yeah, I'm really not good. I'm actually quite depressed right now. I'm really struggling. And her response was, wow, I'm also not doing okay. Do you want to go get a coffee and we can be not okay together? It would be really helpful. And I was like, it would be really helpful. Let's do it.
That's so lovely.
It was very lovely. And it was someone who doesn't owe me any of that. But it was a recognition that that exists in people. And maybe me saying it gave her permission to do it. Maybe she would have said it either way.
Yeah.
But it was two people who don't owe that to each other at all. Just allowing that to be. And I don't know. It helped me. I hope it helped her.
I bet you it did.
I think so.
It did.
It was a good coffee.
I was going to say, thank goodness for the people who ride the wave with you.
Yes. You got to have the ride or dies.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone needs to be a ride or die, but you got to work on cultivating a couple at least.
I think so. I have often said recently, especially, that nothing lasts forever, but this coming from the lady who's been with someone for their whole adult life.
Yeah, for real.
But it's transformed and like flowed so much. I think that's what makes it last so long. And I do want my ride or die friends as well, you know. I think this last election put a strain on that a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Some of those people that I thought were going to be ride or dies, I'm not so sure anymore. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you are. I do think so.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I think there's relationships. I can think of my friend Molly, who lives back in Michigan. We've known each other, it's probably close to 12 years at this point. And, we have our times, like right now, even while we were sitting here, she called me because we've been talking a lot. And it's been really lovely to deepen that relationship.
Yeah.
But there was, I don't know, there's probably been 6 months where we haven't even texted each other. And then one of us calls and it's like no time has passed.
I love that.
And we might not be aligned on every single thing that we believe, but we're aligned on the things that core of who we are matter.
Mm-hmm.
And we support each other. We celebrate each other's wins. We give each other validation. We let them feel heard. We don't judge. We just sit and talk and hear the other. And I think that is part of the process for me. That is part of leaning in to those friendships. And I would say I might be on the phone with people more than almost anyone else I know. I mean, I probably am on the phone with somebody every day to just chat. Or if I've got 10 minutes in the car, I'll call people. If I'm on a walk, I'll call people. It's not for no purpose. It's because it genuinely helps me to hear how my friends are doing and to know that they view me as somebody who's invested, because it comes back so much to invest in a friendship with you. I get to be on your podcast and be famous.
You're so sweet. You're already famous.
I am not famous.
Whatever.
But I appreciate it.
Regionally significant.
Yes, that's a man we know has once told us he's regionally significant. I would like to be interregionally significant, but yeah, I don't want to have a million friends. I want to have the really good core people and then be open to connections from all angles all the time. But I don't call those people. Right. They would be like weirded out. Why is Josie calling me?
The term in polyamory, satellite partner, I think kind of satellite friends, or how I think of those people, like maybe the people I see once a quarter or less, or the people
defining a friendship by a quarter is definitely a satellite partner.
Totally. Or like they're at my parties and that's really all the times I see them. And that's okay.
Yeah, I think they used to call those acquaintances, and I don't know why that ever got connotation for a negative.
Right.
I have a lot of acquaintances that I am very excited about seeing. There's people that I see and I really want to give a hug to if I haven't seen you in 6 months. And then there's people I see once a year and I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you. You know, and there's variations in all of that, but all of it is part of this practice of how do you put yourself out into the world and how do I prepare myself to do that?
Yeah.
And, those moments where you are seeing acquaintances, you still want to be yourself, and the process of how you get there is obnoxiously positive sometimes.
It's true. Bringing it back.
First, full circle.
I was going to say, I have a friend, I call him my Brazilian bestie. His name is Cristiano. Of course, I've talked about him. A Facebook memory popped up. Fuck Facebook, but I do like the memories sometimes. I know you're listening, Zuckerberg. We have known each other for 10 years, and that's wild to me. And I was thinking about how close we are, but we will go 6 months without talking or more. We've been playing online some games. We've been playing Mario Kart, and it's been nice to connect with him in that way. Also, I was thinking, I have not been in the same physical place as him that much, and yet I feel so very deeply connected to him just by the conversations we've had when we have been in the same place, and making an effort to play our silly games online and I know that even though we are literally thousands of miles away from one another, I can reach out to him and he will always be there. So it's special.
It is. It's the consistency.
It is.
And not even with time, but the consistency with like the emotional input, the intentionality of response, the engagement. Molly and I will play 8-ball pool on our phones through the texting, which she just showed me. She's a lot better than me, which is really frustrating. But it is a lot of fun to have those different silly little ways to connect, because it does. It makes you feel connected.
Yeah.
Even if you're not able to be face to face. And I don't even think I've seen Molly since, oh my gosh, 2023 or 4. And before that, it was 4 years.
Wow.
And yeah, we still, now we FaceTime like every 4th day, but
that's cute.
It's beautiful.
It is. Is it weird that anytime I hear the name Molly, I'm just thinking of drugs?
No, and she's very aware of that too. And I make enough jokes for the both of us. I promise you that. Many times I've taken Molly with Molly. Not that I do any drugs, Zuckerberg,
No.
but yeah, that's definitely, she's very aware and also a fan.
You got a drug name. Sorry.
After this episode, I'll tell you a very funny story about that I won't say on a podcast.
Ooh, I can't wait. We could put it on a paid behind the scenes episode.
Well, it's not technically my story to share. It's probably hers, but for you, I'll let you in.
That's fair. Ooh, segue of storytelling, you should plug your show, I would say, and what
I will plug all of the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like my laugh and you want more of it, or if you want me to yell at you dressed as a clown, you should consider coming to Expose Storytelling. It's a now international storytelling event that takes place periodically or monthly in Denver, where we take stories from our community and we help people process the things that they've been through in life that are typically relegated to behind the closed doors of a therapist's office. And we work with you to make you comfortable telling that story and writing something beautiful. And then we put you on stage and in the spotlight for you to share that experience. And it's hosted by myself or one of my good friends, Cooper. And it's a really beautiful community-based theater program that is honestly in such a period of growth that I can't even express how much gratitude I feel for the work that's being done. And if you're really interested in some of the sillier things that I do, just look up Juice the Clown and you'll be able to find some of the things that we're up to. There's an event coming up on April Fool's Day that I'm doing. We've got one in late April that's for the more kinkier side of the world.
Yeah.
We've got some other storytelling events that I'm doing. And and then some amazing burlesque cabaret work that is from the Lavender Juice production company. Yeah, plenty of things to do. It's not my whole identity to be an event producer, but apparently it's my whole goddamn identity now to be a fucking clown event producer. So I wake up in the morning and I'm a clown who likes spreadsheets, and that's all I do. I went to business school and decided to be an artist, and I feel very lucky about that.
Well, you're using both things.
Yeah. I love a conditional formatted spreadsheet, but ultimately I want to be clowning around under a spotlight.
We love this. So following on Lavender Juice Productions and Just Juice the Clown, right? Is that your handles?
Explore Storytelling is the easiest one to find. And then Lavender Juice Productions is the weirder and more sexy events.
You may even see a photo up of yours truly on there.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to get you back up there.
I do want to. I just got to figure out what I would do.
Sing, darling. You're going to sing.
I know that.
Sing and shake
them titties.
I wasn't sure if I could say it.
You can say it.
Yeah. Shake them titties, girl.
Shake what your mama made you.
No, that's not how it goes.
Let's not say that.
Boy, that might be the best ending ever.
Thank you for listening, for feeling, for remembering joy with me. If something in today's episode stirred something in you, I really would love to hear about it. You can reach me at howtojoypodcast@gmail.com, or you can find more of my writing at sparklefabmags.wordpress.com. If you'd like to keep walking this path of joy with me, I hope you'll subscribe, share the podcast with someone you love, or leave a review. I've been told that those small actions really help more than you know. And finally, I'll leave you with this. Joy isn't always loud. It isn't always easy, but it is still possible, even now, even here. So I invite you all to take a deep breath, soften where you can, and let one small joy find you this week. I'll be back soon with more stories, more questions, and more reasons to remember joy. Until next time, have a sparkle fabulous day.